Well, I've been enjoying a premium headache today, so I really haven't done much. Not in the way of stuff that requires my brain, because my brain was otherwise occupied. But I just thought I'd mention something about this a little while ago. Okay, no, let's first do this. This little drawing, this quick thing. On this drawing, I quite like it. The lines are better. It's pushed back. The scene is pushed back a little bit. When I brought it onto here, and I didn't do it with a grid. I don't do that kind of thing. So I laid it in, and we've brought everything too much forward. That's going to have to change. I'm not going to tackle that tonight. Probably not tomorrow. That's for next week's stuff. So we're just going to leave that. But I really like the composition of this little drawing. In case you can't see, the perforations on the top of the page are right along here, right along that level, the bottom of my thumbnail. That would basically represent an 8 by 10. Now, I don't know, I did it freehand. I have no idea. I didn't measure anything, if that's accurate proportionately, but it'll have to do. Just wanted to show you a couple of, this is regarding dry point etching. Something my dad did years ago, and he's done many. But I have a few examples of copper plates. And no, they're not like dinner plates, they're just made of copper, and into that he used an awl to scratch in certain colors. Or not colors, certain lines. And I don't know, because it's copper, it's very reflective, and I don't think you can actually see what's going on there. See, what's actually here is a prairie scene, a horizon. What's up here is oxidization or oxidation. It's just you know, the plate hasn't been stored perfectly, and there are a few lines of clouds and what have you. I don't think I can show you these under the light that I have here. But anyway, that's one. You know what maybe I will do is zoom in on this place. I think we have even light from above. That might be the better way of looking at it. So let me just clickety clack. Let me just zoom in. Let me just zoom into this area now. And maybe you'll be able to see things more clearly. I don't think you're going to see this one because it's frankly in pretty poor shape. Yeah, you can sort of see that horizon there. Small prairie town. You can't see the sky very well though. It's very lightly inscribed. But I do have a couple more. So let's see. You know, it's a trio. A tree and an old trunk and the other tree beside it. See if I can show you this, if you can discern anything from my recording here. But see that? This is just copper plate that he highly polished, and then he took an awl, an etching awl, and he scratched certain shapes into it. Oh man. Very light sensitive, and I'm such a pro on the camera. Okay, there's that. I may not even publish this because it's so bad. Here's another one that's got a lot of damage just from poor storage, and these are all plates that he's already done runs. He's already done all the runs that he wanted to for the drawings, and these plates well, for all his intents and purposes are not to be used again. But being his son, I did inherit a few of these things. I like them because they're kind of neat as far as sentimental value is concerned. Some haystacks there on the prairies. Just an elevator by the looks of it. Okay. And we have, what, one more. And this is a mountain scene. Again, not in great shape. And the worst thing I could do is polish them to show what he scratched on there. Oh man. I kind of have to leave them as they are. No, sorry guys. I don't have the gear to do this. But people scratch in copper, aluminum, various things. I still think copper is the best material to use. Polished highly and then etched into. And then sometimes he would take an area of the painting or of the etching and mask part of it, and then allow the copper to come in contact with hydrochloric acid, which is the same as muriatic acid, and allow that acid to etch into the copper. I'll back the camera up here again. So that would give you sort of a texture, right? For example, in the sky, he might leave the clouds just shiny but outlined, and then behind the clouds he might have. You could allow the acid to cut into the copper and give it a bit of texture. Anyway, numerous ways of doing it. It's one of the things he did. You know, when you etch into a plate, and this is a true etching. This is a true print, one of many forms of true prints. You know, it's like a wood cut or a lino cut. It's a mechanical process. What has become more of a process, computer-based, and has been sold as actual.
We went to Osaka.
And sold as actual prints are not actual prints, because every print that's made, you know, say there are 1,000 prints. There's no difference in quality between 1 out of 1,000 than there is between 999 out of 1,000. So they're not true prints. Now with a mechanical process like dry point etching, acid etching, lino cuts, what have you, every time you put pressure on that mechanically and apply ink to it, the quality of the lines and the texture that you put on there diminishes just slightly. Now with his dry point etchings, he would go maybe to maximum 15 to 20. I know you can go more than that, but he was very conscientious about this. And after having a run of maybe 15 or 20, maybe 25, I think usually it was about 15 to 20 prints from this one copper plate, he would do something to not completely destroy the plate, but do something so it couldn't be used again as a copper plate. So that would sort of that would inhibit anybody from making more prints from that same plate. As far as I can tell, he hasn't done that to these, but that's something that's commonly done. Well, actually, maybe he did. I haven't looked closely enough. And frankly, age has taken its toll on these things, so you couldn't use them. I could not use them unless I were to repolish the plates, re-engrave the copper plates. Now, in so many cases, you have a surface, right? And it's the raised surface that holds the ink that transfers onto the paper. There's a bit of a misunderstanding about etchings, and that is that you're cutting into that copper plate with an awl, so you're creating a groove. and then you're covering the entire plate with ink, that fills the groove. I get the impression that a lot of people think that ink that's in the groove is what transfers to the paper, because after you apply ink to the entire surface, you're actually wiping it off. So what's left is in the groove. So I think that often people feel that the ink that's remaining in the groove is transferred to the paper because of the pressure that's put on there. In fact, that's part of it. But mostly it is when you scratch into that surface, you're gouging it, but adjacent to that gouge is a burr, and it folds up out of the edge of that gouge. It's that burr that actually retains the ink for the most part. And that burr, which is actually, again, raised above the surface of the copper plate, that transfers to the paper. That was very, very, very rudimentary way of explaining it. I think I said before, one day I'll get a whiteboard, because there's a few things I'd like to explain to you, but I think I need to do it by drawing it out, so I'll do that at some point. Anyway, it was kind of fun to come across these things. It was beautiful to watch them do this stuff. I like them. They're simple. Well, simple, not really. He never really worked with colors on these things. It was just ink and copper and his press. And he used a roller press for this kind of thing. When he did lino cuts, it was I don't know what you call that. It's got the handles that squish the thing down together. See, my brain isn't working today. Anyway, just probably in the absence of a Saturday video, if I'm going to publish this tonight, then consider it a Saturday video. Otherwise, talk to you next week. No, I have to point at you when I say that. Talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.